Whoa! So that was an extremely good stream, huh? Last time Hasbro managed to do so many reveals we hadn't seen yet was when Legacy Evolution was first announced, which I guess was the directly preceding wave, so maybe they're getting better at this. Before we launch into this, a couple things. Firstly, I want to thank Met, Sharksy, and Goober for the pictures I'm going to use today. I did watch the stream live for once, but they were a huge help grabbing all the pictures they could of these things and sending them to me so I don't have to do the work of finding them or making them myself. So again, huge thanks to them for making my life easier. And then I want you all to know, I know it feels like just yesterday I started doing YouTube, but we are coming up on 3 years of me doing this show now. Last year, I hoped to reach 10K for the 2nd anniversary. Didn't quite make that, got close, but no cigar. Let's see if we can get more subscribers this year than I did last year. So if you enjoy what you see here, and you aren't already subscribed, please consider it. And your likes, please give. Also, every time I do one of these videos, about half the comments are people giving me their own thoughts on all the reveals, and I love responding to those. But at the same time, comments like that can take me upwards of 10 minutes to respond to. I know, I've clocked it. Many times. And considering this video is going to get at least 300 comments guaranteed, well, let's just put it like this. If an average comment takes me 1 minute to respond to, which I've also clocked that, it does, and I get 300 of those, well, 300 minutes is 5 hours. And then just add in 20 comments that take 10 each, and I'm looking at a full workday worth of responding to comments. Now, I don't want to discourage you from making your comments. I love responding to you all. It's one of the great joys I get from being a YouTuber. But if there are any figures that I talk about today that you don't feel passionate about, either love it or hate it, then please consider not mentioning them so I can save time by only responding to the stuff you actually care about. I don't want you to not comment. I love interacting with all of you, but I think I'm finally reaching the point that I've been dreading for so long where I just get too many to keep up with. I want to stave that off as much as possible so I can continue responding to the whole of my awesome community. Though to be clear, if you want to just say hi or something small like that, please feel free. What I want is the super long comments to get a little shorter. I don't want the small comments gone because you feel they weren't important enough. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's talk reveals. Going in the order that they were shown off in, they talked about Doin and Ariel. I don't care, I just covered those. Then they went into Swoop and Scar, and people keep asking me about these because apparently I haven't covered them yet, but I swear I already did. I'm sure that I talked about these before, but okay, maybe I didn't. I hate Scar. He looks awful. Like, that dino mode is cancerous. And I'm not gonna lie, it is so nowhere near different enough that I thought this was just a really bad snarl when I first saw it. It's got the back plates and everything. Like, I get that they were similar dinosaurs in real life, but they had extremely different heads at the very least. This is basically just a stylized take on Snarl's normal dino head. And I know Snarl's dino head is very inaccurate, that's not the point. Robot mode looks shitty. He just looks so uncool with his baby half shirt. Seriously, that's where all the paint went. That's all of it. That's what we get. Also, the face looks so gormlessly happy, just oh, pardon me, he has a strip of gold down his toes, and he still has no elbows. Of all of these bad Dinobots so far, Sludge is still a thing, but this guy is giving him competition for being the least of them. Then there's Swoop, and this is the one that actually makes me feel sure that I've talked about these before. Because damn it, you mean these can actually look good? That was an option this whole time. Why did no one tell the other Dinobot designers? I mean, the face kind of creeps me out, that part is unsettling, but this just looks like overall an excellent little pocket Swoop. It looks posable, it's got elbows. Holy shit, it's got elbows! It's got a simple transformation, but it winds up looking pretty good in alt mode, though perhaps more like a jet that looks like a pterodactyl than an actual robot pterodactyl. But yeah, what's this? One of these Dinobots I actually want? Hell has frozen over. Then there was Beachcomber, who looks so much like a Legends class it kinda hurts. Like, am I crazy? This just feels so core. But then you see it next to some actual humans, and what the hell, it's kinda huge for a modern deluxe. I'm not saying this looks bad at all, it looks great. I'm just saying that it looks like it's small when it's not. What are the odds that this has the exact same transformation as the Power of the Primes one? Love the tiny bird, that's an adorable detail they've added. Apparently the tires are rubber, which is nice, considering it's such a simple figure they were trying to find a way to give us some value, so I appreciate the thought, but I wouldn't have cared if this was just regular plastic. The gun forms the grill, and I don't really care personally if I lose or keep this piece, unlike Crankcase, as the barrel poking out of the front is a little goofy, and it's not like the character is known for that grill. I do want to know how the hell it's plugging into the alt mode like that. And then there was DevCon, and holy shit, that's a blur retool? It's so different. When I first looked at it, I thought it was an 86 Scourge one. They changed everything to the point where it doesn't have those weird, way too stiff proportions anymore. Though it does seem to suffer from a desperate lack of neck. My bet is that part is only going to swivel. They got rid of the awful wrist kibble. Aside from the gap in the ankles and the pretty big backpack, this looks so much better than I ever expected it to that I'm kind of stunned. The wings hanging off the wrists is a little unfortunate, and man, why does the gun look like it's got inflamed lymph nodes? That looks so gross. Alt mode doesn't look like a blur retool at all, despite apparently still having the seating, so I'm impressed by that. I mean, it looks like complete and total bullshit, a Cybertronian nothing, so I'm not really into this, but I do appreciate the lengths they went to, even if this particular style of alt mode isn't my cup of tea. But I know that people will adore this thing. And then there's Axle Grease, who, haha, guess who was right all along? This guy! Yep, that's not and never was Lockdown. Like I said, that wouldn't make sense. Though I suppose it still doesn't, because it's Axle Grease, a pretty dope female retool of Scrap Hook into a muscle car, which, to be fair, wasn't quite what I was predicting. That's also a Decepticon. So why she is still riding with the rest of the Junkions on the poster is still weird. The colors are great for a Decepticon, but weird for a Junkion. It's not like they were orange, beige, and burgundy because they were aligned with the Autobots, that's just what they looked like. Head is a very classic 80s cartoon, so despite being weird, I'm also just super into it. Kind of feels a bit GoBotsy. And the alt mode is just chef's kiss moi. Like, what they have managed to do with a retool here is insanely impressive. How do you turn a tow truck into a muscle car? Well, they found a way. If you notice, it's got a wing motif on the chest and the grille. I will not be surprised if this gets retooled into yet another Junkion with normal colors and a new head. Plus, I did think for a second that in this picture they had a hook for a hand, so Lockdown confirmed, but no, it's just the hook in the fusion cannon. I think this version of the guns looks even dumber than the normal ones, but I'm excited for yet another Junkion. And this combination of her and Scrap Hook goes way too hard. And then there's Dirge, and I've said this many times before, I don't care. Shit mold looks like shit. I don't want a re-release of the garbage Earthrise Seeker mold. I want it out of my face. And this one looks even worse than normal. What are those wing colors? Is that watered down mustard or gone off butter? Gross, get it out of here. If you really wanted this mold, which I don't know why you ever would, then congrats on it finally not being scalped, but I will not be picking this up. Nice to save a little money for myself every once in a while. Then there's Nemesis Dark Leo Convoy, and I don't have a lot to say about this. Apparently it's got chocolate underpants, it's got a new gun, which is cool I guess, provided that they aren't charging more for it. And what's that? The Lion mode isn't a derp lord. Madness, I say, madness! Well, that's every thought I will ever have about this. Armada Megatron looks extremely good, though is it just me, or does his face look painted on? Like, it doesn't look like there's a sculpt there, it just looks like it's tampographed on. This is pretty much everything a fan of the character could have wanted, though, I think. He's got the open left hand, just like the toy, which is interesting to see carried over, even if I don't think it's going to have his prison shank. And then his hand can be replaced by the barrel, which I guess, yay, added functionality he didn't really have before, so it's a win, but not something I'll be using. The head spikes look deadly, and it looks both very posable and well sculpted, with one exception. It's got Legacy Laser Prime shoulder pylons. So I already know what my biggest problem with this figure will be when I finally review it. He's going to have no backwards range on the shoulders, and the arms going forward are going to look stumpy when they're extended through their little doors. That's a bummer, but I really liked the Legacy Laser Prime anyways, and this looks to be even better than that thing was. It even has the dreaded cannon on the front mode, like he's wrong way from GoBots. And he and Optimus look great together. Stoked to see this, it's something definitely to look forward to, but I'm just a little disappointed that I already know what its biggest problem will be. We got another look at Armada Optimus, and at this point, I don't super care more than I did before, except for one thing. And that's, oh god, the mono skirt! Oh no, that looks terrible! That is so bad! Oh man, that's unfortunate. I can't tell if the box art is lying. I feel like the legs are twisted in a way that's not possible with the actual figure. But either way, they know the monoskirt is a bad look. So in any event, it's a lie of omission. Lastly, for the reveals, we actually have pictures of the Nemesis. And just damn. I know that I've been saying it for a long time now, but this just throws into stark relief how phoned in the arc was. This is unfinished, and it already looks a billion times better than that piece of junk. Alt mode has no giant gaps along the side, it's rife with gimmicks. What's that? The turrets can swivel? Holy shit! Thanks for doing the actual bare minimum unlike the Ark, which I swear couldn't do that just out of spite. It's got tiny seekers that attach to its boarding tubes, which don't look anything like them, and are too short, but I'm not going to whine about that. When this is doing everything else right, what's a few less than perfect gimmicks? I mean, this is fucking completely in test room colors, and it looks amazing comparatively. Hell, it looks amazing in general. I just did a quick Photoshop of what the Nemesis will most likely look like in its final colors, and while I think that it looks awesome like that in its ship mode, I do think it takes a little away from its robot mode. Not a ton, because let's be real here, this thing looks sick either way. It radiates enough cool to freeze you to death. But I think the shins with the dark-colored crest and a light-colored main leg were really striking. In any event, this styles on the Ark. I'm really worried that this is going to have a bad case of hot rod shoulders, and the backpack is looking pretty enormous. But outside that, I got no qualms here. It's rife with gimmicks, and the hand axes thing is appreciated but too stupid looking for me to ever actually use. From every direction, this looks great. It looks like it has all the gimmicks the arc should have had. I don't know if this is going to have a smaller robot partner, but I don't need one when the figure itself looks this good. And I appreciate the fact that they engineered this to sit flat on a desk despite the insane design of it. Though I hope it's still stand compatible. Head looks amazing. I love what I'm seeing here. This part looks way more posable than the arc's was, and the battle mask gimmick is dope too. And best of all, it doesn't look like someone wearing parts of a ship like the arc did. They look like they're made out of a ship. This is absolutely everything the arc should have been from the beginning. And if the shoulders aren't a problem, then we have a contender for best Titan ever. Then there were a bunch of announcements for figures they aren't revealing yet, with hell yeah, apparently an 86 Rufus in the works. I wonder if it will have blast effect pegs on the shoulder. To everyone who doesn't understand how that killed Brawn, you do know that one of the Romans' preferred methods of execution was stabbing someone in that exact spot, right? Movie, I don't know which one, Bumblebee, I do not care. Gamer Edition Cliff Jumper. On the one hand, this guy has never had a figure that looked like him before. On the other, it's going to be based on that nearly unfinished looking Bumblebee. Though it may actually fit this mold more. Just look at the chest. Is Bumblebee a pre-tool of this thing? Gamer Edition Megatron. We knew Beakertron was coming, there was never any doubt. Now the question is, will he have his horrible Muppet mouth? I don't know what they were thinking in the game. I cannot be intimidated by a guy with that face. He looks so stupid. Just and Optimus Prime, we already got an excellent figure of before, so I don't have any clue what this will be. And Rise of the Beasts Rhinox. I am confused that they felt the need to announce this thing. They didn't announce any of the other Rise of the Ballin characters like this. Either way, hell yeah, a lot to look forward to. One of Hasbro's best streams ever. And hopefully both figures with Tarn's face won't have Tarn's shoulders. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know, what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So, if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.